Hello children, today we are going to discuss new topic historians and their sources. Historians use different types of sources and learn about the past depending upon the period of their study and the nature of their investigation. Last year we learnt about Gupta dynasty and Harshavardhana, that is a ancient history. And now we are going to learn medieval history from roughly 700 to 1750. Let us see. You will notice some continuity in the sources used by historians for the study of this period. They still rely on coins, inscriptions, architecture, and textual records for information. But there is also considerable discontinuity. The number and variety of textual records increased dramatically during this period. They slowly displaced other types of available information. What are the other types of informations? Coins, inscriptions, architecture. Through this period, paper gradually became cheaper and more widely available. People used it to write holy texts, chronicles of rulers, letters, and teachings of saints, petitions and judicial records, and for registers of accounts and taxes also. Manuscripts were collected by wealthy people, rulers, monasteries, and temples. They were placed in libraries and archives. These manuscripts and documents provide a lot of detailed information to historians, but they are also difficult to use. Sometimes copying homework from your friend's notebook is a difficult exercise. Sometimes you cannot understand your friend's handwriting and are forced to guess what is written. As a result, there are small but significant differences in your copy of your friend's work. Manuscript copying is somewhat similar. There was no printing press in those days, so scribes copied manuscripts by hand. These small differences grew over centuries of copying until manuscripts of the same text became substantially different from one another. For example, we have Silappadigaram, isn't it? That is a Tamil epic. Saiva Hindu and Tamil scholars rediscovered the palm leaf manuscripts of the original epic poem, along with those of the Sangam literature, in Hindu monasteries near Kumbakonam. These manuscripts were preserved and copied in temples and monasteries over the centuries. As palm leaf manuscripts degrade in the tropical climate. This rediscovery in the second half of the 19th century and the consequent publication brought Silappadigaram to readers and scholars outside the temples. This is reality. At the same time, this is a serious problem because we rarely find the original manuscript of the author today. We are totally dependent upon the copies made by later scribes. As a result, historians have to read different manuscripts, versions of the same text, to guess what the author had originally written. On occasion, authors revised their chronicles at different times. The 14th century chronicler Ziauddin Barani wrote his chronicle first in 1356. Listen, and another version 2 years later. The two differ from each other, but historians did not find about the existence of the first version until the 1960s. It remained lost in large library collections. Okay, next topic tomorrow we will see.